I'm Mark Cleghorn and welcome to the Lastolite School of Photography. Today we're out in the park doing some photographs of a beautiful bride and we're using the product, the Uplite. This is a 4-in-1 product, and basically what that means is that we have 4 reflective surfaces on the 2 different reflectors. What makes this special is the bracket that joins the 2 together. The great thing about these, they're self-supporting and they'll be able to actually change their angle of reflectancy from a 30 degree at its lowest position to an 80-degree position at its highest, which allows me to really use the reflected light in almost any scene, especially on days like today where we've got a full amount of sun coming onto a location like we have here, which is full of dappled light. It allows me to really change the angle of the reflector to make the maximum use out of the sunlight when we're trying to relocate it and to reflect that light straight onto the client's face. And that's the key point of any reflector. It's not just a reflective material. You've got to get it in the right position with the right angle as well to make sure you get the absolute most of the light in its return. We've got the four surfaces on here, a kind of a warm tone and a cooler tone. So we've got silver white, which is underneath the shower cap. Just let me touch on the shower cap for a minute. On a wet day or a dampish day when the grass is wet, one of the brilliant things about the shower cap is that it will allow you to use this on the floor, so you're not going to actually damage your reflector. On a day like today, where the sun is beautiful and it's really dry, I don't need to actually use the shower cap at all, so it's one less thing. A quick tip though when you're using it is to make sure that if it's got a bit of a wind or a breeze actually on that day, you just grab your bag. Once this is in the right place, you just get your bag and you stick it on there, and this thing is staying still no matter what. Even beats some of my assistants at time where you see them windsurfing going down a location kind of thing with it. At least this is there. And one of the benefits of this, because I'm working alone, I can have 2 or 3 of these units as well to change the intensity of the light and the overall look once more. So let's have a look at how we use this on location. So once we've got our subject in place, I've chosen this kind of dappled light area because it's a hard location for many photographers, including myself, and we have to either add in flash into here, or what we're going to be doing is using the reflected light to give us some contrast within the image. Now if I now add in the reflector into that shot, just by giving that effect and just tilting up the bracket to maximise it. Just look away for a minute, Taz, because it's very, very bright. Look away, darling, to your left. That's lovely. You can see the amount of power that we've introduced to the sun from the uplight. It's a reflector. I don't care what anybody says. It's a reflector, but it's a controllable and a workable alone. That's the main thing. So I can just shoot the whole job without having to have an assistant there. When you've put a reflector in place, of course, i.e. the uplight, I need to measure the light. Make sure you don't do what I'm doing and block in that reflected light before you take that exposure, otherwise your image is going to be well overexposed. So we measure now towards the light source, and that has gone up to 2/50th at 5.6.5. What a jump in exposure. So make sure you know what your exposure is before you start to shoot, otherwise you're going to have bleached out areas or block blacks within the photograph. So with the reflector in place, we're ready to shoot. And of course, even though I've got Paul here to help out today, we're working fully alone to simulate how I'd work on a wedding day if I didn't have an assistant. With this reflector now in the place, I can move around and get this huge variety of photographs without having to actually rely on a guest or a best man to actually hold the reflector if I didn't have an assistant on the wedding day itself. It's gorgeous there. 1 second. You look fab. And again for me. It's gorgeous. Keep it straight at me, please. Turn the hips around towards here more. Just let this hand come out to the side. Really dip down. That's beautiful just there. Excellent. And again, happier. It's gorgeous. Just lean in with both hands towards here. It's gorgeous. Turn the head round towards this reflector. It's gorgeous there for me. It's beautiful just there. Eyes at me. It's gorgeous there for me. Happier. Turn the head again for me again. A little lean with the head on the side. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. With that, can you just take up the veil for me again? It's gorgeous there. Happier. Excellent. Can you wrap yourself in that veil? It's beautiful. It's there for me again. It's gorgeous. Excellent. Looking down towards the floor. Lower the chin more. Excellent. And again, keep it. Stay there for me. Wicked. Just there. Just change my focus point a minute. Beautiful. Okay, so we've done the basic. Let's move on from that a little bit more. How are we going to change it? Well, the first thing, let's really make use of this reflector and its agility to move its shape and height. Another use for the bag that it comes in, using it for upright. Darling, just have a little sit in there. Sit with your bottom on there for me. Can you hide all that for me?
Yeah.
Okay, remember we've got this dappled light going on in here, so that's not helping us at all. But if we just reposition this reflector now to maximize the light onto a face, you can see instantly, can you see that? How we've brought that real strength to the image, and we're helping combat against the dappled light. That's the sun coming through the leaves and the trees and the branch. That gives us that pattern. If you watch the face now for a minute, that's without it. Look at the dark shadows in the eyes, how black and it's horrible, okay? And all we need to do here is just lift that up to bounce that light back into the subject to get that amazing image again. Let's shoot it. Straight me, that's gorgeous. And again, head just towards the light a little bit, that's beautiful. A little lean with the head on the ear now, that's beautiful. Just there, Taz. Excellent. Just looking gazingly off for me. It's beautiful, just as you are. And again, can you just put your arms across your lap for me? Brilliant, let's do it. Again, looking off, that's gorgeous. There. Let me do close up a minute. Straight at me again, darling. Excellent, happier. And for me again. Turn the head this way a little bit. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'll shoot from here as well. Turn the head to me again. Wow, great images. And that is just you using the reflector to bounce that light back into the pose. Okay, so let's put the second one in. And that's going to increase the exposure once more. 2000 for f4 now. Wow, almost a whole stop there. Shoot that again. Taz at me, darling. Keep it. Excellent. And again, head off towards here, please. Finish off with a vertical shot. What a shot. Can you see that? How that blue sky is just phenomenal now. I'm just going to take the reflector off Taz for a second because it's going to be very harsh on the face if we leave it on there for too long. So the four sides in here, we've got that full-on gold, if that's what you want, that very kind of yellow. But then we've also got the more gentle colour, which is the one stripe of silver, one stripe of gold, which is going to give us some warmth, but a big reflectancy, very similar to the other reflectors in the series in the finishes. On the reverse of these, we've then got what you can see is a white and a silver. Let's just turn these around. And all you do to actually change the sides is just physically press the ridges together. There's Velcro there that's going to get attached, so that's what keeps it together anyway. Then all we need to do once more is just clip on our stand, and then within seconds we've got a different surface, of course. This is another great technique where to use the uplighters. We've got the bride just underneath the shade here now. We've taken her away from the sunlight. Why? Because otherwise it would bleach all the actual veil out and so on. Looking away for me, darling. Excellence there. Straight at me again. It's beautiful. And again, looking down towards the hand. It's beautiful. One more shot a minute. Excellent. Relax. And of course, what's great about this is that not only is an uplighter, but it's also a reflector, Paul. Can you just pull it off for me? So if Paul all of a sudden wants to actually move the light in a different position to increase the light or change the direction of the light, turn the head round more, darling. It's gorgeous there. Keep it. Beautiful. And what we've now done is Paul has actually, he's gone much higher with the reflector, very similar to we would use a position of a studio flash or a speedlight flash to give a better direction of light, which is usually at 45 degrees. Let's do that. It's gorgeous. And again, darling, turn the head around towards Paul a touch more. It's beautiful. Just there. Eyes to me. It's gorgeous. And again. Great, so we've increased the whole different style of that photograph. We've changed it because now we have a black background. We've increased the sharpness of that light coming down the side of the bride, as well as we had it before, where we had it coming in from behind. Paul, let's cheat. Stick that down in a minute. Can you angle that one up to actually give us some backlight? Now we're going to use 3 reflectors, okay? Even though we've only got the two uplighters, 2 of them are going to work alone, because I'm going to bring mine up as well to add some fill to the front, just to give me some more the detail in the dress. Paul's adding in the accent there. And now, get it in, Paul, for me. Silver side, please, if you can, or gold. Come close for me, Paul. Add some more colour. Brilliant. Just there for me again. It's beautiful. And once more, fantastic, baby. Just there. Wicked. Relax. So as we can see, the Uplite is a great universal piece of kit, especially as a reflector, whether you want to use it as the unit it is or take off the panels and use that as a reflector as well. It's a great piece of kit. So you can see why the Uplite is my preferred piece of kit when I'm working alone on location, whether it's wedding or portraiture. But even when I'm working with an assistant as well, the 2 of us together can create some really great images. So I'm Mark Hegel for the Lastolite School of Photography. Thanks very much. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.